Welcome back, guys. Today we'll be playing Horace. This is the best platformer in 2019. It's basically like, say the platformer is hard like Super Meat Boy, but it has a really good story. But the platforming is really hard. Okay, let's check the settings. These are all the settings. Of course, and you can also use your controller in this game. That's all the settings there is. Okay, let's start a new game. This is where they build the robot. So it's number 1. First robot out of the factory. It's alive! Don't drop me. Oh my god. Carriers always drop things. I love how the lack of anti-aliasing in this game is. It's so blocky, but in a good way. Come on, open the goddamn door. And we're here. Oh look, it already gives me controls. Oh my god, I walk so slow. I can look up, I can look down. And I walk so goddamn slow.
And
like a baby.
I was born.
And so
the first people I remember seeing were the old man, the old lady, and their daughter, Heather. After they'd said hello, the old man powered me down so he could install some software. I could tell they were nice people. The old man didn't give me a silly voice or
English
stupid
butler
personality. And the old lady didn't dress me like a clown. Although for some reason, Heather really didn't like me. Once I'd had time to get used to walking, the old man asked me to dash from one end of the room to the other.
Oh, I can dash. Can jump. Here's the platforming.
Next, the old
I wonder
man
how
spent
heavy
a couple
this
of hours
robot is.
building some wooden platforms. He said he wanted me to jump up them, but I must admit, I was scared. It wasn't until I saw Heather and her mother happily climbing up them that I decided it might be okay.
Parkour.
The old man then rearranged the platforms, He told me to try to reach the other end of the room without touching the floor. Heather said, the floor's made of lava. But
The
when
floor
I
is
smiled
lava.
at her, she just frowned and looked away. The old lady arranged some pillows and blankets. She said it was in case I fell, but I think she just wanted it to look more like lava.
The floor is lava. Yeah, parkour.
When I reached the other side, the old man just smiled and said, that'll do, for now.
For now. Learning to Walk, Chapter 1. Oh, that's a unicorn.
A
That's
couple
a
of days after those first
reference.
lessons, the family had a big meal, and I was introduced to everyone else. The professor was the old man's brother. He was very quiet, and always seemed to just kind of stare at me. He had lived with the old man for 5 years. The house was so huge they barely saw each other. He preferred instead to stay in his room, leaving everything up to his butler, Mr. Deck, as he insisted everyone call him, although the professor always called him Anton. For a while, he called me the yellow bastard, but the old man made him stop, as he thought it sounded racist. Mr. Silton was the old man's driver. Before he worked here, he'd gotten in with some bad people and was the driver in a post office robbery, although it all went wrong for some reason. Mr. Silton showed me a video of his band. I'm sure some people must like it, but I just found it terrifying. Then there was Alice. She was the cook. She was a nice old lady. When she was younger, she had been a TV chef. Then, years later, she had a small part in Coronation Street. Mr. Silton said, before she worked for the old man, Alice was quite a hoarder. She kept old newspapers and bicycles, and something about a poo in a shoebox. The next morning, the old man gathered everyone together to show them what I was capable of. What else does he do? Asked Mr. Silton. The old man smiled. He can help around the house. Could he help me with my newspaper collecting? Asked Alice. I'm not sure that's a good idea, said the old lady, but he can do all sorts of jobs. Yeah, said Mr. Silton, shove a stick up his ass and he can do Deck's job. Now, said the old man, we have company, pointing to some important-looking people. 2 large men, both called Gary, set up what the old man referred to as lasers. He said again, I should try to get from one end of the room to the other, but I shouldn't be worried, as I had a special chip which meant no matter
That's
how
our
damaged
chip.
I was, I couldn't die. He said it was like infinite lives in a video game.
Infinite
But
lives.
when he realized I didn't understand, he said he would explain another time.
What happened? Oh, so that's what happened when you get hit. Okay, let's do this slowly. Oh, okay. Let's just walk slowly and avoid getting shot. Well, I only got shot
Everybody
twice.
clapped, except the important-looking men. Not exactly a cold, calculated killer, is it? Said the man in black. The man in grey laughed. What kind of artificial intelligence was that? He asked. Move right, unless there's something in the way. Okay, said the old man. He turned to me and whispered, "They're going to make it quite a bit tougher. But I'm sure you'll be fine."
Okay, the laser is moving. Ouch. Okay, I need to get up there. I'm not really particularly good with platformers, but I'm doing my best. Oh my god, that thing is so fast. I think we're done.
The garage then rearranged the room one last time. The old man smiled. Now, there's no need to look so glum," he said.
Oh,
"I'm
it's getting
still happy
harder.
with everything you've done today." So this time, I was determined to do him proud.
Okay, now they have live electricity. Oh, okay, that's really bad. How am I supposed to get up there? Uh-huh. Okay, that was easier than I thought. Oh, that got me. Why did I jump? Should bind this button to something else. Oh! I hesitate. It's harder than it looks, to be honest. Can I just jump down from here? Oh, okay, we have shocking things from up and down. Can you just drop down? Oh my god. I don't want to get shot again. I did it.
The old man's friends actually seemed quite happy when I made it through. "We might have a winner after all," said the man in black. "It's no Killbot 3000, but you can almost see the fire in its eyes." A couple of days later, the old lady said she had a surprise for me. My own room. She also wanted to play me some music. I wasn't sure after what Mr. Silton had shown me.
Oh, classical music. Oh, just resume.
As if music wasn't amazing enough, the old lady then bought me a television set. I couldn't believe what I saw. I watched everything I could. Comedy, drama, horror, sci-fi. Anything anyone wanted to watch I would happily watch with them. Then one day, The old man set up a small box. He plugged some cables into the television and said, "This is what I meant when I said video games."
Oh my god, this
I
mind blew
played
up.
games at every chance I could. I took on everyone. I was unstoppable. I had enjoyed music, film, and television. But to me, video games really were the highest art form.
Oh, I miss it. Of course, they're playing Pong. Table tennis for two. Oh, a mini game. Oh my god, how did I miss that? Why are you not responsive? Oh, I'm winning this time. Hmm. Finally did it.
Heather's birthday was a couple of months later. Her mum and dad had bought her a camera and arranged a day out by the sea so that Heather could take some photos, although I really don't think she wanted any pictures of me. When the old man asked the professor if he wanted to go, he frowned and said, "I can't believe you want to spend time with that thing. It could destroy the world." I wasn't sure what he meant, but the old man just smiled and said, "That's what you said about the Game Boy. Anton, how about you?" "I don't think so," said Mr. Deck. "The last time I got in that car, Barry crashed us into a branch of Woolworths. I never would have gone into Woolworths of my own accord." The old man explained that the car was old and the brakes had failed, but Mr. Deck was having none of it. So Mr. Silton drove, and Alice came along for the fresh air.
So
I
the rabbit.
enjoyed being outside. Although, the old lady kept telling me to be careful of the rickety old walkways. It felt like she was telling me off, but I think she was just concerned. As the old man and I stood on the cliff tops, I could see something in the distance. I wasn't sure what it was, so I asked the old man. He said it was a battleship that had sunk in the 1940s. But he looked so sad when he spoke about war. I didn't see what happened, but the metal platform Heather was climbing on had collapsed. She was safe, even if the rocks she was on looked very dangerous. The tide was rising, and we didn't know how long the Coast Guard was going to be, so I offered to climb down and get her. The old man agreed, but said I should be careful, as Heather doesn't have infinite lives, like I do.
Okay. Now we're really in the heavy stuff. Okay. They got those falling platform things. And electricity
Heather was
too.
unconscious, and her leg was broken, so I picked her up as gently as I could. I decided it would be best if I didn't run the rest of the way.
Oh, of course, you're gonna fall down though. I can't dash.
An ambulance had arrived by the time
Okay,
I
who's
had
the
made
hero
it back
now?
to the cliff top. The medics made sure Heather was okay, and then took her off to hospital. A few days later, we all went to see how she was doing. She was fine, but would have to wear the cast for a couple of months.
Oh, that smile. It's just 2 pixels, 3 pixels maybe. Robot save local girl. I'm the hero now.
Once Heather got to know me, we became good friends. We enjoyed the same films and TV. She was also annoyingly good at some of my favorite games. After a while, she became very interested in how I worked. Soon she knew as much about me as the old man did, if not more. We spent the next couple of months visiting other countries, as when it came to teaching me things, the old man always liked to pick interesting locations.
Did they climb Mount
He
Everest?
had explained the basics of mathematics to me at the Great Pyramid of Egypt. Taught me history in the dead of night, surrounded by mysterious giant stones. And even showed me science in action high up in a hot air balloon. This is why I was surprised when the old man took me to a restaurant. It was nice, but it seemed very somber compared to the previous grand locations. He said he just wanted to chat, and this was nice and quiet. Plus it was his favorite place to eat. We talked about life, the universe, Douglas Adams, everything really. When I asked him why were we here, why did we exist, he just smiled and said, life is like a game, just don't expect to be finished anytime soon.
That's a screenshot
When I
right
looked
there.
puzzled, he said, well, everyone should have a purpose.
Another screenshot.
So I asked him, what's my purpose?
What's my
He
purpose?
thought for a bit, then said, so you want to be a real boy? Which just confused me even more.
That's a
Eventually the
Pinocchio.
old man said, for now, I want you to help clean things around the house. I must have looked unimpressed, as he then said, okay, I want you to clean 1,000,000 things. It didn't sound like the meaning of
1
life,
million things.
but I suppose you've got to start somewhere.
That's a lot. Learning my purpose. Damn, this game's so
The
good.
next day, the old man said he wanted to install some more software, so he powered me down. When I came to, he said Mr. Silton had a joke for me, and that I should pull his finger. I don't think I got the joke. So the old man powered me down again. This time when I pulled Mr. Silton's finger, I got the joke. But it wasn't very funny. The old man then explained that he had installed a special chip which allowed me to clean away anything that was broken. He said it also tells me how many things are nearby. and how many smaller things are in a bigger thing.
What?
It all sounded very complicated, but he said all I really had to do was pause, and it would bring up all the information I needed. He then said he wanted me
that's
to find and
convenient.
clean all of the items in the room. He told me there would be some chains to climb, but that would be nice and easy, as I just had to press up. He then finished by saying, when I had collected all the items, I should come back here.
Let's try the pause button. Junk here, 135. And I have nothing. Okay, so how am I? Oh, now we have physics. We have fucking chain physics. I'm calling it right now. Chain physics is better than Last of Us physics. Okay, let's pick up everything on the ground first. Wait, I can still go up. So basic. Okay, that has electric stuff. Will I lose all my junk? That thing hits me. Why is there a car up here? Who would put a car up here? Oh, can I break this thing? Oh, here. This one here. This is a clay supercomputer. Oh my god, this thing. How about this thing? Oh, that's a lot of junk. I enjoy this chain physics.
The old man then asked the old lady Heather and I to follow him outside. I was happy too, as it was a lovely hot day.
Lovely hot day.
The old man said he was worried that Alice had been calling again. She had filled up a small barn with old bicycles and newspapers. Heather said this would be a perfect chance to properly test my new powers. The old man thought for a second, then said, using the steptoe chip, I should find and clean at least 300 things. When we explained to Alice what we wanted to do, she seemed scared. But after the old lady kindly explained that, well, the barn was starting to smell, she said it would be okay. One last thing, said the old man. If you want to use a door, just push up.
Push up.
When I was about to
open door.
enter the old barn, Mr. Silton said he had seen some mushrooms growing inside. He asked me to give him any that I found. He then winked, but I wasn't sure why.
Wink, wink. Oh, Okay. For release. Now this is a ton of junk. Okay, how do we get up there? Oh, there's another door. Ah, this is the classic. Oh, we're already done? There's even more junk here. Ouch. Oh, good thing it's a save. Ouch. Why? Why? I'm gonna 100% this thing. Even if it kills me. Think we got the all clear. Yep. We got the all clear.
The old man was very happy with everything that I had cleaned. But I think Mr. Silton was even more happy with his mushrooms.
This is a cutscene?
It wasn't the days getting shorter, or the evenings getting colder. It was the falling leaves that really made me feel sad. As we watched the trees blowing in the breeze, the old lady said, "The leaves must fall before the blossom comes." She had already explained the seasons to me, so for once, I actually understood. But it didn't make me feel any better. The old lady obviously had enough of my moping, and said, "Right, next week we're going to have a party." For some reason she insisted that we were all going to wear costumes. Heather was very excited and said, "I've got some perfect ideas."
Oh, pumpkin head. Sorry.
It was terrifying. Everyone was dressed like someone else. I think I was meant to be some kind of pumpkin, as everyone kept shouting, "It's the Great Pumpkin."
Great pumpkin.
Still, at least Mr. Silton was having fun telling everyone his joke. And I suppose Heather's costume was quite flattering. After what seemed like forever, everybody left, and things got back to normal. Heather was allowed to watch a scary film before she went to bed, but I had to help Alice and Mr. Deck clean up.
Coming to get you, Barbara.
I wasn't happy
Getting-
about this, but the old man said if I was quick, then I could watch the end of the film with them.
You're acting like a child.
Alice was vacuuming, and Mr. Deck was taking down the decorations, so I thought I should clean up the plates and glasses.
How did the glasses end up? Up the door. Oh, even the side.
The ear-splitting sound was the fire alarm. As usual, Mr. Deck blamed Mr. Silton, saying he was probably smoking one of his jazz cigarettes.
Just cigarette.
But then the professor appeared. He said that there was something burning in the kitchen. Alice looked confused, saying that she hadn't cooked anything since the morning. We were all surprised when Mr. Deck opened the oven.
Oh, it's a
Inside
mushroom.
was a large black cloak and a slightly burnt pair of men's underwear. Suddenly the old lady burst in. She looked terrified. She kept shouting, "There's someone on the roof." When we went outside, it slowly became obvious that it was Mr. Silton. He was completely naked and playing his guitar. He shouted down, "When I finish this song, I'm going to fly." The old lady said, "Oh my God, I know this one. There's only about 30 seconds left." The old man then quickly turned to me and said, "You know what to do."
How am I supposed to post this? Okay. Oh my God.
By the time I had made it up to the roof, Mr. Silton was beside the edge. I tried to calm him down, but he was acting even more bizarre than usual.
Oh my God, it's the mushroom. Locals. Robot safe local idiot.
After an hour or so, Mr. Silton was fine. He said he had eaten some bad magic mushrooms.
Bad magic
Part of
mushroom.
me wondered why he hadn't doubled in size. Still, he was soon laughing and joking with the paramedics. One of them said he looked like the world's worst clown. I don't think Mr. Silton liked that. So he told his own joke. But that just made the other paramedic call him Marshmallow Marso. I don't think he liked that either. But at least he was still in one piece.
Oh, now it's Final Fantasy.
A month or so later, Heather and I were playing video games, when the old man said he wanted me to come outside. He said it had been a year since I had arrived, so he had a present for me.
Teddy bear.
He placed the teddy bear high up on a wooden platform. He then told me I should try to pick it up.
Can I go here? No.
Try as I might, I couldn't reach the teddy bear. However, I still don't understand what happened next.
What? He dead? Oh, she's hoarding again. Okay, they can boot it up. No! Stop hitting the robot. Oh, that's a reference. It's a coffin dance reference. Even the music is coffin dance. Shutdown complete. Really enjoying this. The music, the art style, everything. It's really a 10 out of 10 game. Oh my god, all this reference. That's another reference. Oh my god, how many references this game has?
Was I dead? Was this heaven? It sort of looked like the basement bathroom.
Let's see
It
if I
was
can
the
get my
shoes
head.
the old man was going to give me. I thought I might as well put them on. They were just the right size.
Get the hat.
The old man's hat fit me pretty good as well. I'm sure he wouldn't mind if I wore it. Amazingly, the shoes allowed me to defy gravity. Or
Gravity
maybe it was the
boots.
hat.
Can I jump? I have gravity boots. This will make platforming a lot harder. Okay, I really need to end the video right here because it's getting longer. This is Horace. Find it on Steam. It's a really good game. Buy it. Bye guys.